Excellent. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is pretty much a literally every single step video. The only thing we did before the cameras turned on was we put a little bit of our our liquid clear across the canvas. Then we took a piece of paper towel and we wiped off all the excess just one or two times in in one direction. And now we're at where we're at now. We're going to come in here, we're going to go through all the colors that we're going to use first, which is cadmium yellow, sap green, dioxazine purple, madder carmine from the Meaden set, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, bright red, Prussian blue or ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, titanium white. All those colors on the Paint with Josh black palette. Make sure you get your black palettes on paintwithjosh.com. Now we're going to take our Indian yellow first, okay? Grab our Indian yellow, let's just blast some up into the sky, real heavy on our black canvas, okay? Just like that, little patch or a little stripe, however you want to throw yours in. Then let's add that Indian yellow as well. We're gonna throw it down here, okay? We'll have another little Indian yellow patch. Now, why do we use the Indian yellow, class? Is there anyone out there who knows why we use the Indian yellow when we're doing scenes like this on a black canvas? Anybody, can you tell me in the comments now why we would want to use Indian yellow versus yellow ochre or cadmium yellow? Does anyone out there know? Just type it in. Let me see. Let me see if you guys are actually paying attention. Thanks, Pipe. Appreciate you. Transparent colors, exactly. Missa, go with the flow. You guys already know they're transparent. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, just like the video, give me a thumbs up. That's all I need from you. Over here, we're going to watch, go into a little bit of our madder carmine color, which is very much like the Meaden crimson, but it's much more vibrantly crimsony, reddishy. You know what I mean? Let's take that guy right on top. Of course, we're gonna put him right on the bottom too. Now you can get away with using just your Bob Ross crimson if that's all that you had down here. That's okay. Okay, man. No worries. Now in between, we're gonna put purple, and then purple along the bottom and purple along the top. So we'll go right in without washing the brush into our dioxazine purple, the coolest, darkest, purpliest color you ever did seen. Now we don't really need to fill it all the way. You only really need to have it where your waterfall is going to exist. So let's say ours drops down into here, and we've filled a little bit of purple, but you can see it's not over here. It's not too much on the side. And the reason being for that is we don't want to overload the canvas too much. If we put on too much paint, it's going to be harder and harder and harder to then add more and more and more layers of paint because we have too thick of a base. All right, so don't put on too much. Just blend down, don't let it get into your yellow just yet. We'll throw a little bit of it along the bottom. And that's pretty much all we ever do every time that we ever set up a canvas or throw our undercolors out. We're just placing them down very much like that. You see this thing? He's trying to run down and get on my arm, but I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let it. So you guys got to do one thing for me while you're watching. You just got to check in. Just tell me where you're watching from. Just around this gorgeous earth of ours. Where are you watching from? Anywhere in the world. You guys know I sold a painting to Bahrain the other day? I thought that was a place in Middle Earth. I didn't know it was a real place. Bahrain. Where we sent a painting off to the other day. Now, I'm going to let you guys take a guess at how much the shipping label costs, but don't use the dollar symbol, just type in the numbers. How much do you think the shipping label costs? And again, don't use the dollar sign, just type in the numbers, and I'll see if anybody gets close. If you're in my Discord, you're not allowed to play because I already told you guys how much it was. But just for a shipping label, from Eugene, Oregon to Bahrain, okay? How much do you think that shipping label cost me? North Carolina, welcome, thank you. 75, Tom. Arcan, that's much more like it, right? 120, we got 50, 79. Guys, it was a fair amount. It was $209 to ship that big painting. All that, and that was with my Shopify discount. It was $787 before the discount. And it dropped to $209. I was so happy. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of our liquid white, which is that very wettish paint. Okay? We don't want to have too much on the brush. Yeah, there we go. Don't want to have too much. We can always go back and add, but watch how bright it's going to get when you get in there. And it's going to get very wet with our liquid white and our liquid clear already on the canvas, pushing real hard, and just having it ignite the colors underneath. You don't want to go back down too far. Once you've gone up there into your darker area, you don't want to go down too far into your brighter area. Just like that, guys, literally. Right? How far do you want your bright sky to go down? How many little deals do you want to have? And it's just that liquid clear, the liquid white over the liquid clear base. That's it. Literally. You brighten it or darken it to your liking. I like it just like that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's fantastic. Okay. Let's get over here with our palette scrapey tool. We're going to mix up. Actually, let's get rid of some of this liquid white. Not get rid of, but save it for later. More like it. So you guys check in. Tell me where you're watching from. We're going to come in here. And can you tell me what 3 colors that we need in order to make our Paint with Josh plaque mix? The real deep, dark nastiness. Do you know what 3 colors are needed in order to make this up? You might be a brand new viewer. You never know. You could be a new viewer. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of white as well. We're going to brighten this guy up just a touch. There, we don't want him to be too bright, and we don't want him to be too dark. So we're keeping the light away from the darker pile right there. Very cool, guys. So what are those colors that are needed in order to make Paint with Josh black the deepest, darkest color of all time? Anybody out there know? You're new. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys are commenting. The more comments you guys comment and leave, right, the more people will end up coming to the stream. We're going to mix a little bit of this guy in too. There we go. I don't need it to be too terribly bright. The more people that are here, the more chance that old Paint with Josh might just sell a painting or 2 or 19 or 17. I can't remember what the record is now. I think it's 17. All right, drop in, getting fatter and fatter and fatter as we go down. Little tiny little tree out there, again, mixing the paint down onto the brush to where it's nice and flat and sharp. Let's say, who knows, he's got a little friend. Right there. Always put the trunk or the center of your tree on your most outskirted branch, and that way, by the time you come in here into little tip-tappies, that's going to ensure that our trees crisscross, right? They're going to be close together. They don't like being too far away from each other. They like being nice and close-like up there, right? Now, let's take our Paint with Josh bush brush, the Paint with Josh round. When it comes like this, right? It's a very tight little patch of bristles. And what I want you to do is just be rough with it and just flatten it out as much as you can, as many times as you can. Get in there and flatten it. That'll make it nice and puffy. When it's puffier, it's cooler. It'll make bigger, cooler shapes. Let's try to scoop up this paint, get it up onto the edge. Now I can come out here and deposit a little bush or 2. Just like popping it in. Hey, right there. Don't need to go too far to the side. Don't need to go too far down. Don't really have to do much at all. And that is the favorite part about Paint with Josh paintings. You don't have to do much. Okay, let's make some grass. Now, you guys know me, okay? What brush am I going to use if I want to make grass? Am I going to use the Bob Ross 1-inch brush, or am I going to use the black-handled, ultra glossy with gold writing and gold ferrules Paint with Josh 1-inch brush? What are we going to use? You type it out. Which one are we going to do if we want to make grass? Type it out in the comments. Thanks, Dolores. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, we've got virtual classes, Nicole, for sure. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I have in-person classes. A Crayola brush. I've got in-person classes right here in Eugene in my art studio that we operate out of. And then we also can connect virtually via video call, via Discord. And that is a lot of fun as well. Now, let's not get too much of that cad yellow into our green. See the bright more yellow we bring down into the green, the brighter it gets. So we're going to flip our brush over. We're going to push up into it like that each time. Wiggling it down, push up. That's going to leave a little sharp little ridge, especially on the Paint with Josh brush. Then you can get out here and you can decide how far does your little bit of grass go down. All we're doing is depositing lines on a diagonal angle, just a slight diagonal, right? It's not a perfectly flat, straight thing. We're just depositing lines down, 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 underneath each one. We'll show you. We'll get a little bit bright. A little bit more of our yellow ochre, our cadmium yellow into the mix right here. Again, wiggling it down, pushing up into the brush like that. Okay, let's drop down here. There. See how it's right underneath, right underneath, right underneath. We don't want to put too much paint on our canvas. If we've taken and put too much yellow, too much purple down there as your undercolor, what's it going to do? What's it going to do? Is it going to help make your grass brighter, or is it going to help make your grass darker by having too much purpley paint down there? What do you think? Just type it out now. Right? Over there. The more that we tap into this guy, the softer it becomes. Remember, this is some grass that's far away. We don't need to see every single piece of that grass up there. That's the best part about it, man. Now, let's get a little of our liquid white, okay? We're gonna come over here into our greeny, yellowy pile, just like that. A little bit more of our sap green, but you have to have that cad yellow in there, otherwise your green starts going very pale. And when it starts going very pale, ooh, nobody likes it after that. Let's start on this side. Just kind of tapping, not covering up too many things, and then not making it too bright along its dark side, right? Each time we tap, what happens? The side of the corner of the brush that is actually contacting the canvas becomes dark. Right? Now we have to use this corner up here, flip it over so it can contact the canvas. Here, a little tap, and we'll just start little drops, right? Because it's a very wet paint, it will drop off of the brush with the minimalist amount of pressures. You don't want to have too much pressure on that guy, or you're going to mush it. Right? You don't want to go over it too many times, or you're going to take away bright spots and replace them with dark spots. So it all depends on how you like your tree, how it's looking when you do it, right? That's all that matters. We're going to get a little bit of our liquid white again onto our oval brush. It's the Bob Ross oval brush. Paint with Josh does not have an oval brush. And if I wanted to highlight these bushes that I made with my Paint with Josh brush, I could always go back over them with the Paint with Josh brush. I would just have to wash it. You guys know me, I'm a lazy old painter. A finger painter. Okay, so we'll come out here, a little bit of that greenish, yellowish color. And what's our goal? To not cover all of the darkness. And if you have to push too hard, right, what's wrong? If I have to push too hard to get this paint to come off of my canvas, what's wrong with it? Anybody out there know? What is wrong if I've got to mush too much pressure on this guy to get him to deposit? What's happened in my paints, right? What do I need to do? It's not wet enough. Exactly, Terry. Exactly, guys. Exactly. Man, this one's cool. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. That's all we need. Thumbs up. You can always add like really bits of bright. You know, if you're using your liquid white down into your grass, it can be very bright. To be able to show you the difference. You know what I mean? You kind of want to stay away from your liquid white when it's in your grass because it'll make your grass too wet. When it's too wet, then you can't put anything else over the top. So, very cool. Now, let's come down underneath. We're going to take a little of our liquid white. Just a little bit of it. Right there on the edge of our palette scrapey tool. Pull it out flat. We're going to scrape up a little bit so that when we rock our tool back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, getting lower and lower and lower, right? Start at a higher point, end at a lower point. Didn't take our blade off the canvas, not one time. Okay? We're just scraping. Scraping. If we need to go back and get some more paint, start again. Scrape it just right underneath your grass though. Doesn't have to be too crazy, okay? Now we're going to take our 2-inch brush, doesn't matter which one you got. Just a big old brush you can use for pushing on a lot of pressure. And we'll come up here and start to drag this guy down. Now remember guys, you can purchase this painting if you go to paintwithjosh.com. It's there, it's available for you, it's waiting to come and display at your home. But you got to be the first one over there to get it. And if you're not the first one there, you're going to be upset with yourself. I'm telling you. Okay, now let's rock in. We got to have a little waterfall into this guy. So, if I'm going to do a waterfall, I'm going to make it to where the paint on my brush is much thicker than anything I've had so far. Okay, and that way we should be able to, just like a palette tool, roll over the side, or in fact. Yeah, we're going to roll out this way, right? So pretend our river came and hit a pile of bushes or land or something over here. It's forcing it to then roll back. So we're going to touch the brush onto the canvas. We're going to go over to the side and down very lightly, floating it very vertically. Not out here. If I do this, I'm going to drag it. I don't want to drag it. I just want to deposit. Okay? We're going to go over, drop it. Right? Over, drop it. See all this stuff. It'll start turning colors, changing and doing all these little things. And then you'll notice that all your paint, your white paint anyway, is going purple. You don't want that. So we'll go wipe it off. Come back over here, grab up some more of our white, titanium white. We'll just drop it off. Maybe it comes from both sides. Bang, just like that. Just feeding inward. Now, at the top of it, we have to slide it away. Both directions, really. Just kind of make it a bit brighter right where it's coming to the head. That way, it'll look like it's rolling over and falling, getting all thin right there, and falling down. Now, my friends, my guys and gals, paint and pals. Now, we're going to need to mix up a bunch more of our dark colors. So does anyone out there know what 3 colors that we use in order to make Paint with Josh Black? And remember, the more comments that you drop in, even if it's just like, hey guys, how's your day been? How's your week going, friends, painting pals, how's it going? And it's just the more times you guys even talk betwixt each other, the more people will show up, giving Josh a better chance of selling the paint. Now, let's get back over here. The reason we have, actually, you know what, before we do that, let's get in here with a little bit of white. We need to make some mist coming off of our waterfall. So let's say it came down here into the yellow area. We'll just make a little smiley face underneath it, okay? It doesn't have to be too big because we don't want it to grow too far, okay? Then we can come back. Let's grab a brush that's nice and clean. Right? We can come back in here and let's mix it. It's only because I didn't want to wash my Paint with Josh brush. There. Picking up some of that yellow, picking up some of that purple. Keep that little misty fogginess at the base, which is really cool. Then we got to decide where our river goes next. Does it just kind of brighten itself up as it's getting closer and then ready to fall over into the next place? That's going to be up to us by the time that we get there, right? We're not there just yet, guys. So let's get our dark paint, our plaque mix. P-L-A-C-K is what we call it. We're going to pop up into the white, covering that area, covering the river just a little bit. We know it's coming from. We know where it's there. Where it's coming from over here. Let's get this guy right up into the white, projecting. That's why the river has to flow through these bushes right here. All right? Because of all this extra stuff. Now, you don't have to go too far, and this is why you put the mist in before, so you can dangle down into the mistiness, like they're just drooping over the sides. You guys are very cool. Now, let's go back in. Let's take a little bit of our liquid white and a little touch of our sap green, right? Just the green on its own, just a little. Remember, we're using kind of the green as our darker, shadowy color. So if our sun's back here, maybe our darker, shadowy color might be down here. But look, we're not trying to cover up all of the anything. We need some dark spaces in between there, okay? Now, if we wipe off our brush, come back in and get a little bit more liquid white. Let's say we go into our yellow ochre color, trying to get a fair amount of texture and that liquid white on there. There, that's what you want to see. Then what if we come off of this, like this, pow. Again, not trying to pop, not trying to cover every piece of everything, remembering that there are lots of colors you can use. You can go into our bright red, a little bit of that liquid white, come off the edge of this guy. Just brighten up as you wish. The top of some of that green. People are gonna love it, you guys. They're gonna love it. Oh, that's fabulous. I like that. I like it. Even having a little bit of excess liquid white that touch right there, it looks like a highlight on top of a highlight. Right? And if I wanted to do that, I would just come in with a bit more of my liquid white and add some white flowers over the top of those guys. But you don't want to make anything too bright. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Now, let's get down into our watery area. We're going to go back to our titanium white, brighten it up a little bit. I don't want it to be supremely bright down here. Why? Because the sun can't reach down this far. Right? It's not going to get all the way down there. And then again, we're going to load up on that liquid white, our titanium white. And we're going to start rolling out. Out and down, out and down. Now pretty much straight down in the center, go over the other side and start going out that way. Just until it's about level or until you like it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to look like my painting. That's the best part about doing these things. Nothing out here has to be the same. Ooh, that was very thick. There! That's the thickness we want, right? We're literally scooping it up, attaching it very lightly with a bit of quickness. Bang. Now you should be able to feel the paint sticking to the brush and the canvas. It makes it like glue almost, like a suction cup. You'll be able to feel that. You really should. Now, this guy is not as textured. This one is a little bit more, indicating it's closer to us. We can see more things. All right, take these guys from the center, or from the left, pull them in. Take them from the right, pull them in. And all we do is just brighten up that area to where it looks like it's getting really crazy, and then it's going to fall over the edge. Right? Again, how do you want yours to look? Totally up to you. Remembering that we're going to come back with even more bushes. Can't do the bushes yet because I'm going to make up some more of that color. So can you tell me, this should be like the third or fourth time I've asked you, what we need in order to make up this supremely dark, thick pile of paint that we call Paint with Josh Black. Right? Just a very dark, heavy mix of that crazy thick paint. Anybody out there know? Type it in. Let's see. Come back and read some comments over here. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, you guys. Here we go. You guys are looking excellent. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. That's all you need. I need a thumbs, not an emoji. Like the video. That's all I'm asking you to do. Let's get rid of some of these chunks of like thick, crazy thick skin right there. Okay. Now, what did we do after the bottom of this area? Well, of course, we came down and we loaded it up with a little smiley face. Up underneath, just mushing the brush against the canvas, trying to get it to deposit and stick on there is pretty much it. Go back to our little blending brush. This is the Bob Ross 1-inch, only because I'm too lazy to clean out the paint brush 1-inch. And we're on a roll, right? You don't want to stop when you're on a roll. Here, this waterfall's about to fall off into our living rooms, guys. Or wherever you're painting. I'm in my art studio, but wherever you're painting, it's about to fall off and roll out into the night. Yeah, in the night, you guys. I like it. Very cool. Okay, now we've got that really dark mixture of paint. We need to drop down the levels. See how there's some bit of brightness over here, bit of brightness over here. You need that to extend a little further so you have an area where you can come up and cover it and then project that distance right there, right? If we're plopping in little bushes beneath and disconnected from our other little guy, and then dropping them down into that misty area. That's the freaking coolest. That's the coolest. Right? Remember, you can grab this painting if you go to paintwithjosh.com. Let's come over here. Let's go into our yellow ochre. The yellow ochre with our liquid white on it. Bang, right down there. Remember, they don't all have to be the same brightness. They don't all have to be the same shape. Maybe this guy drops down the backside when that guy's out the front side. Maybe because we can come back in. Ooh, yeah, oh, that'd be cool. Even with a bit of blue. Check this out. A little blue, a little of my liquid white, just to get it to deposit. I always forget about blue flowers, guys. Blue flowers are so pretty. You just got to get out there and do them. Wipe off your brush or wash the brush between every application of your liquid white. You don't want to take all this color over into your liquid white bin over there. Let's crisscross these guys a bit. Bang. Bing, bang, boom. Got them growing up and around and in between each other all over the place, you guys. All over the place. It's going to be a little bit more red. Put this down here. That's a big old bit of skin. We want texture, Josh, but not all that. Very cool. Very cool. Now I got to finally wash out this highlight brush. It's just overly loaded with liquid white and all those other colors, yes. So eventually, it will be too full to continue, and you've got to stop and wash your brush. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Now, here comes the biggest, nastiest part of the whole painting, you guys. Have you ever watched Bob Ross? And he made those big old trees. Like literally the branches of the trees are this big coming into it. But it's one of these guys. It's just really close up. Have you ever seen him make those things? It takes an enormous amount of paint, right? An amount of paint, I mean, look, I'm gonna take half of what I have left. That's just black. That's just crimson. Look what the piles I'm leaving. That's just the blue. Get that skin out of there. Yeah, that skin. Like I said, I want texture, but not that much. We're gonna mix all of these guys together in with its other Paint with Josh Black pile, right? The older pile that we made. And it's an enormous amount. You definitely would not want to get this to fall onto your floor. Look at that. It's like the size of like a big marble. The marbles that you use to like hit the other marbles with. So scrape it up. And I probably didn't even make enough. I'm probably gonna have to make more, but we're gonna come up here. Okay, we're gonna get the Paint with Josh 2-inch brush. We're gonna do the Paint with Josh 2-inch on one side. We're gonna do the Bob Rossi brush on the other side. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna wiggle down on this 2-inch brush into that whole pile of paint. Like this brush is a fan brush. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to turn this big old 2-inch, pushing a lot of force, bending the bristles, lots of pressure, to then get it as tight as we can, right? The more paint that you load up in there, the more tightly the bristles will stick. And I've already gone through 60% of my pile and we haven't even hit the canvas yet. Now, let's come out here and let's decide at this downward angle, we're almost gonna paint some grass, right? And then we're gonna decide how many little things get to pop out of our little tree. How many little branches, how many little bits of stuff are growing out of this enormous mass, right? Which is why we don't put any other paint over here. We don't need any more paint on here if we're trying to cover it with this enormous bit of chunky paint, right? We just can't have it. So wiggle it down, wiggle it down, wiggle it down. Now remember, these end up looking way cooler by the time that you get done highlighting. So don't worry about what it looks like right now. This is why you have to do your other things first. You have to have these cool little branches and different little things that come out. And it's just the same technique as when we're painting grass, except we're coming out at a different angle and this, that, and the other. Just leaving little bits is all. Where do you want to have shine with a bit of a branch? You know what I mean? When you're doing your tree. All up to you. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, guys. That's cool, you know? And with the 2-inch brush, while we have it, and we still got all this paint, why don't we flip our brush this way, rotate it down, so we're gonna load all the paint into the brush vertically, right, pulling it down. We're gonna turn it over so all that chunk is down here, and then we're gonna come up into our watery area. Just launch in this big, crazy, textured, thick bit of stuff. I'm telling you, when we go over to highlight it, it's gonna be the right amount of texture for all of that. Now let me wash out this brush, and then we'll start over with our Bob Ross brush on the other side. And then you can be the judge about which one you like better. Because that's all it is. What do you like better? Which brush makes the shape for you that you like? It's not about me. It's about you guys. You guys! Okay. Now, let's just say while we have that Paint with Josh 2-inch in our hands, right? Even though we just cleaned it and got all that gunk off there, all the real dark paint. Let's come into our little trees. Let's grab a bit of our yellow ochre too. There. There. All right, I'm gonna tap onto these guys. Now, what's the secret to highlighting these kinds of trees? Same as it always is, the pressure, right? The pressure, guys. How many times are you gonna hit? How many bits do you want to leave bright? Right? It's all up to you. It's the same thing. Just painting little grassy things. They don't all have to connect. They don't have to do anything. You don't want them to connect for sure, because then it just doesn't look real. Kind of hitting it, leaving little areas with little things and little bits of brightness, because it's a really close-up version of one of them guys out there. Right now, you got to wipe off your brush, clean it off, go back in, get a little bit more of your highlight paint. Let's continue on with my yellow ochre into that sappy green color. Just kind of leave little disconnects, right? Pick a bright area, fill it in, drop down, fill that in. Remember, it's not all, it doesn't all have to be shown anyway, you know what I mean? Not every bit of every bush or every piece of every tree is going to be seen down there, so you don't have to highlight too much. And if you do highlight too much and you overdo it, then that's okay. One of these guys down here are just going to change the shape of all these little things. And we can have more little bushes. All depends on what you like, right? How far up. So I think they look really good about that far up. And then we can decide what we want to do with the other side. Should we have some little things? Drop down. Little bits of little stuff, remembering that you're going to have some of your odorless mineral spirits and your titanium. Yeah, it's going to be all the little sticks and twigs that end up growing out of these places, dark areas and this and that, and some back here, over there. They're here, they're everywhere. They're holding up all of our little flowers and such. So, my point being, we have to leave spaces for those little guys. Like, watch this. If we want to put like a whole big chunk in there. Something. Right? Gorgeous. It's fantastic. Just fat. Bang. No. Right there. Boom. Right now, what are we going to do around that guy? Let's figure it out. We know we have to leave some spaces. We know we need some colors. We need some stuff. We're going to have things and bits that are covered. Not every place has to be fully covered. Maybe underneath. It's got a whole other big green bit down here. Growing up from in betwixt. It's all up to us, guys, literally. Every time you do it, another chance to do it a little different. Pop out another little branch, got something growing down here. There's another little guy growing up back there. You never really can tell until you get out there and try it for yourself. I'm telling you. Popping these little guys down around the bottom and they're growing out the side over here. Who knows? But you gotta have them there. You gotta have them there, guys. Okay, now let's do, you know what? Since we've already got that one big tree over there, let's do like a big deciduous kind of a guy, which is what they end up looking like. We're gonna take our Paint Josh 1-inch brush, the round brush, come out like this, just drop on, just little things. You wanna have places where you come out, back in, extend out again. It's gonna make it look more realistic when you're doing it that way. That darkness. Covering it up down here, we can have this whole big crazy dark thing with different colors and such. And you get this really cool little scene filled in right here, right now. Like I was saying, where do you want? Right here is where you want the trees to be. Right? We have catch a couple little bits out there. A couple little things, right? Go back in. Throw in some trunks. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man. A couple little trunky, sticky little things that are happening over here and holding these guys up. Because it's going to make it easier when you go to highlight them if you have some trunks in there. I'm telling you from experience. Now if we drop down here, maybe covered up that edge where that spot where that little grassy thing was coming from, where our trunk was coming from. Turn the brush vertically, turn it sideways, turn it however you need to turn it in order for it to make whatever shape that you want it to do. That's the whole name of the game, bros. Bang, a couple little things out there, like little bits. It's nothing you guys can't do, honestly. Seriously, it's super serial right now. Throw out those little white sticks out there. We can move our yellow ochre on this guy too. Let's drop down, start to change up our color. Don't need everything to be so bright all the way back here. Get a bit of red in with that yellow ochre too. Change up its color. How many little things, how many little bits of stuff do you have in your painting? Because it's up to you every time you go to do it. Now, I'm going to need your help in coming up with a title for this little painting. So if you could be so kind as to just type in the comments what you would want to call it if it was yours. If you had just done it, and you're like, man, this one's cool, I like it, right? What would you call it? So type it out in the comments, and then I'll throw on the signature. It's going to be a cool one. I'm going to be doing this as a class up there in Yakima, Sella, Washington. Tomorrow, this is the class. Guys, can you tell I got a brand new mall stick? Goodness gracious. Needed one for sure. It's gonna go caca. I gotta throw in the sounds of the birds. You're gonna paint them out there in your scene. Now, we'll add our signature. You guys give me a title, and that one is gonna be nice, man. Nice. Nice. I know. And remember, paintwithjosh.com. It's the very first thing you're going to see when you go there. It's going to be looking you right in the face because you might not recognize it though because it doesn't have a photo attached. We weren't able to paint it before our live show, right? So it has a thumbnail up there, and if you like this one, and you want number 1868, then this is the one you're going to want to get. It's right there on the homepage. You just got to go check it out. You got to get over there, guys. There's already a few people over there right now. People close to Oregon, some people on the East Coast, some people down by Florida, maybe Georgia, Atlanta area. I can see you all on the map. Every time that you go to paintwithjosh.com, I can literally see where you're coming in from around the world. So, if you guys think I'm fibbing, I'll show you. I'll show you. Right? Yes, you see the little dots? See the dots? That's you guys. That's you guys from around the world. Right? So, let me know. Head over, check it out. We'll see how many more little people pop in. And then tell me a name. What are we going to title this guy? Needs to have a title for sure. And if you get it during the live show, you get to spin a spinny winny wheel, of course, which is the wheel of giftiness, which gives back a gift to all the purchasers. Right? Every time they get one during the live show, you get a chance to get a gift. So, but you got to get it during the live show. That's the whole thing. That's the incentive, they call it, right? Okay. Over here, over there. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this bushy brush, it holds so much of that black paint when we do scenes like this. It's just crazy. Just quite literally crazy. Garden of Eden, Airy Fairy in the house. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Majestic Forest, Serendipity Falls, Fantasy Pools, Fairy Falls. That's cool. I bet you Ari would like that title. Fairy Falls, Ari. What do you think? Fairy Falls. You know what? In fact, that gives me an idea to do this. Because every Fairy Falls, I would imagine, would have just a couple fireflies out there in the day. They don't fly too high up, so don't put them too high. Don't put one way up here in the sky. Keep them down low. Don't have them be too noticeable or too close or too big. Right? It's all up to us. Look at that. That's cool, dude. That's cute. That's cute. Right there, too. Boop. Couple little fireflies out there, guys. That's all you need. Little fireflies in the night. Now you can call it Fairy Falls. It's got some little fairies out there. Some little airy fairies out there flying around. Okay, what do we got for titles on this one, guys? Forest of the Falls. I like that. Vacation, that's funny. Firefly Falls, that's a good one too. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna back you out a little bit. There we go. Back out the YouTube camera just a little bit as well. See that? Always looks better from further away, you guys, seriously. It sounds funny to say that, but it literally always looks better from farther away. But I like to get you guys up close and personal so you can see how to do every single step of every single painting in the Paint with Josh multiverse. The multi-universe. There we go. Remember, I would love to come back and paint another painting because I do have to practice one more painting for the classes this weekend. So if somebody would grab this, that would guarantee that I'd come back and actually do another painting. Live in front of your very eyes. Plus it would make my day. It would make rent be easier to pay as well. And it wouldn't stress me out so bad, like literally leaving right before all the bills are due. I'm leaving my studio and going to a new place out of town. That is kind of stressful. So, if anyone has ever felt me on that, here, finish washing off these brushes and then I'm going to be choosing a title. So type in your titles, guys. Remember, if you purchase it during the live show, you get to pick the title. It becomes your painting. And then it is up to you to choose the title. But you have to grab it during the live live show in order to get that distinction. And it's really cool. I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay, let's get over here. Pop that guy down. This one. Spank on the table. There we go. That. This guy. Is this one still dirty? Goodness gracious. I think we went through way too many brushes today, guys. No trouble. No brushes. There we go. Now, can't wait to go up to Washington and teach these classes. Can you guys even see me? Can you see? It smells like paint right here. I can't wait to go up and teach these classes tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And that was the reason why we redid this one today, so it can be fresh in my mind for tomorrow's class. This is literally the class that we're doing tomorrow. And of course it won't be exactly the same. It'll be similar. It'll be similar. Alright. You guys. Okay, keep coming up with those titles. Wipe off, clean off the old palette. Wipe everything down. That way it doesn't get all crazily dirty like my other palette did. Jeez Louise. There we go. Yes. Take away all that nonsense. Now it's all in my hands. It's all over myself, you guys. I didn't want to shower in the paint. That's what always ends up happening, right? Okay. This guy. And you guys. Let's just wipe off this whole pile of white. You use that much anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You guys. This. Just getting stuff everywhere. Okay, perfect. Let's see some titles. Paints. This is why we wear gloves, by the way. People ask all the time. What do you wear gloves for? Because I don't want paint all over my hands. Okay. So, zip this bit away. Clean up right there. That's the best part about the paint dry palettes. You actually know when the paint is gone. You know what I mean? There's no more white there. I can see it. Okay. Yes. All right, man. This one was a quick little tutorial. Didn't come out too dang bad. Yeah, going to Washington State right there in Sella. It's kind of by Yakima. And it's going to be awesome. Firefly Falls, Falls of Kalur. I like that as well. You guys are really cool. Rainbow Falls is cool. Firefly Forest. Oh, Terry, that's a cool one. I think Terry's going to win it, in my opinion. Fireflies and Fairy Tales, man. Fireflies and Fairy Tales. That's a cool title. That is a cool title. So I absolutely cannot wait to see your versions of this painting. Now, how am I going to see your version of this painting? Anybody know where you're supposed to send them to? If you're like, man, I painted along with one of Josh's paintings, it came out fantastic, or it didn't come out fantastic, but I still want to show them anyway, where would you send it? Maybe the people in the comments might be able to tell you guys where to go. Right, what's the number of this one? 18. Looking easier. I had someone. Hello, you guys! I was just about to say it would have been easier to find if somebody had actually purchased it, and they did, my friends. Boom! Chachi! I love it. Okay, which one was this? 1868. So, are you here, purchaser? Are you in the comments section? Did you come back? Because now you can actually choose what we're going to title this. I was going to pick Terry's title, but now since we do have a purchaser, and we had not titled it yet, it becomes the purchaser's responsibility to choose the title. So, Robert, are you here? Robert? Ooh, that's cool. I got one a while ago. I got one on the 4th. Excellent. Robert, are you here? Robert, Where is Robert? Let's see. How thick is your palette? Because you're snapped in half, and you like those French files, the ones that I have. So this is actually a Paint with Josh palette. It's my own brand, and it's actually etched in. It's not a sticker that can peel off. It's etched into the whole thing. Plus, they're about, I would say, about 1/8 of an inch thick, I would think. Not too, I mean, you don't want it too thick and too heavy, right? We also have the big ones, and we have the smaller ones as well over on paintwithjosh.com. You just gotta find them. So, Robert, are you here? Robert? Where are you? Isaac said hi. What's up, Isaac? Over there. Anybody? Is Robert here? We're gonna have to title it anyway. We'll have to title it for him, and then Missa says she loves the Paint with Josh palettes. Mindy says the Paint with Josh palettes are so worth the money. Go get yourself one. See that? See that, you guys? Okay. Well, if Robert is not here to tell us what he would like it to be called, then what we're going to do is give it to Terry. What was that? What was Terry's comment again? Fireflies and fairy tales, was that it? I think that was it. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate you being here. Unfortunately, ASAP, this one already found a new owner. Fireflies and fairy tales. This one was just grabbed right before, maybe literally 3 minutes ago. Boom, ba-boom, painted on 5/29/2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com. There's not enough people in here for you guys to call for that, but we always got to try. Paintwithjosh.com if you want to find all of the stuff and everything from your imagination, or from my imagination. All sorts of bags, duffel bags, backpacks, t-shirts, hoodies, pants, jackets, literally all sorts of stuff. Beanies, hats. I've got one of the shirts on right now. What's your favorite sandwich, everybody? So, Robert, I very much appreciate you. If you are watching, or if you just pop in right now, maybe you're watching on YouTube later on while you're looking at this thing displayed on your wall, thank you so much for making the purchase today during the live show. It always helps make it for a better show as well. So, you guys are fantastic, man. Fantastic. So, okay, I'm going to get out of here over on YouTube, and we'll say goodbye to the tutorial. I can't wait to see your guys' versions of it. Please send it in to facebook.com/paintwithjosh. Oh my God, let me start this over. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. When you get finished, please send it in to me on Facebook @officialpaintwithjosh, or on Instagram @paintwithjoshk. I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and blah, blah, blah.